I am DYANAROZAY, and I bring a unique commentary to your favorite reality TV shows and whatever is popping on social media. If you are not a subscriber, please become one. Hit that notification bell too, that way you don't miss any of my videos. I go by DYANAROZAY on all platforms, and I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. What's up, buttercups? Welcome to the channel. Hey, everybody. What's up, clone? How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Y'all come on in because we about to talk about this bullshit that we saw. I don't even smoke, okay? And I need a whole pack of cigarettes to get through it, child. What is going on? If you are, listen, y'all already know what to do. If you can hear the sound of my voice, please and thank you. Put your city and or state in the chat so I can give y'all a shout out real quick. Y'all got y'all cigs ready? Y'all got y'all tequila on deck? We are talking, okay? What's up from the Lou? How are you? What's up, ATL? Come on in. What's up, A-Town? Come on in.
Hey, Pisces Life.
Make sure everybody take the poll at the top of the chat, okay? Because we're talking about it. What's up, New Jersey? How you doing? Come on in, come on in. Listen, we are here to talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville episode 12, okay? This has been an interesting season, y'all. What's up? What's up, Glen Mills, Pennsylvania? What's up, Cookie? Let's see, Trinidad, what's up? Trinidad and Tobago is in the house. What's up, Kansas City, Missouri? All right, you got your margarita. Good. You deserve it, child. What's up, Philadelphia? Yes, child. I could not believe my eyeballs. What's up, Chicago? Anyone that you see with a purple wrench behind their name, they are here to make sure that you have a good time in the chat, okay? So follow their instruction. Yeah, y'all, this was crazy. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy. All right, listen. We're gonna, let me first start off by saying, let me put my banner, child, because I got some shit to say. Monique, go on, girl. Hold on. Cookie. All right. Listen, I'm just going to start by saying I don't know anybody on this show. I don't talk to anyone on this show. So the opinions I'm going to give are mine and mine alone. Okay. You see the banner at the bottom. This is a conversation about reality TV. So I'm going to talk about reality TV. I'm going to talk to you about some of the things that I've been seeing online that has been presented by people that are on this show. Okay. So we'll talk about that. Yep. All of the cigarettes, child. Every single one, in the ear, in the mouth, in between all the fingers. All of them. Anywho, clone, do you have a disclaimer you'd like to issue?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
So we're both, I'm gonna say my disclaimer is her disclaimer. We are giving our opinion based on common sense and human behavioral studies. Everything I learned in college, child, and have applied to life up through this very point today. Okay. And yeah, let's get into it. Let me get this banner down. Let me get the picture down. What's up, everyone? Okay. All right. Where do you want to start? You know what, the majority of the episode, make sure y'all take the poll. The majority of the episode was actually about Trish and Ken. The scenes were built around them for the most part, except for, so we're going to get those two out the way, and then we will dedicate the rest to Trish and Ken. Okay. So let's start with Marcel and Tisha.
Okay, let's start with Tisha and Marcel. So we're going to kind of start middle of the episode. So these two meet at Black, and Black is shut down at this time, I guess. Marcel explains that it was because of a large event that led to, I guess, a parking issue. And there were some politicians that apparently had a say in it. And because he wouldn't lick their boots, they were trying to charge him some sort of sales use tax on the furniture that was in the bar.
Mm-hmm.
And this shut him down. So the rest of this I'm going to leave up to you, because I feel like Marceau speaks in riddles, metaphors, and analogies, and I couldn't get it.
Okay, well, here's my take on it.
Okay.
Marcel said that just a couple of months ago, actually earlier this year, Marceau's business was closed. It became a big social media thing. People started calling the business, trying to see if it was true, things like that. And it was true. The business did get closed down, I guess, like, a big weekend. According to him, he said it was homecoming weekend.
Homecoming.
I'm not so sure if it was homecoming weekend. But either way, it was closed. Okay. So let's start there. And what it sounds like, initially, it felt like he said it was due to the Love and Marriage Huntsville audience, that there was people that was a part of the audience that got that business closed down for that day. But what we come to find out in the episode, and a lot of y'all are always saying this show isn't about business. So let's talk about the business component of what happened. Because I used to work for the county, city kind of thing. And I know when people would come in and argue about other shit that was happening in the community and how you get a business shut down. So what it sounds like is Marceau wasn't paying his community tithes. Okay. Basically, he said it was some community leaders, maybe a minister or someone that he said didn't live in the community, but doesn't matter. He still has impact in that community. Marceau is over there doing whatever he thinks he wants to do without running them pockets over to whoever is asking for the money, is what it came across to me. Okay. And so because he chose not to play ball,
sounds like mob ties.
Big bank took little bank. They literally went down to the city hall and they asked their friends, let's come over here and show this fucker a lesson. He had the police department there, the fire department there, and they went all the way through there with an inspection to see what they needed to close that damn place down. And what they figured out is that he didn't pay his sales tax on the furniture they have in that building. But literally, when someone does that to you, it is simply to fuck with you. Period.
Ooh.
Okay.
Wow.
Whoever is in that community straight up said to them, and from what it sounds like, it's a parking issue. And if you've ever seen Black, it looks like they have maybe 4 parking spots in front of the bar, and everything else would be like on the street parking or across the street parking, things like that. So I don't know where the church is in the community, but wherever the church is, they feel like Marceau's business is interfering with their business, because church is a business too. And so since Marceau was not willing to follow whatever this protocol is, whatever the community protocol is for this church, they said, well, we're going to call in some favors and we're going to shut your shit down. And that's exactly what they did. Okay. If what he is saying is true, that's what he said. And Tisha sat there with her tears in her eyes talking about, we're always picking on you. And I know how hard it is that you work for this community and for this bar and da 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 da. And Marcel said, Tisha, I don't give a damn. They ain't running me up out of here. I don't care what they do. And I'm laughing when I'm watching it because I'm like, Marcel, you either paid up or they was going to run them pockets every damn month or every quarter, because that's what happens when there is that type of business in the community. So this is a real business lesson for everybody who's asking. I have seen this a number of times. If Marceau is playing his music too loud, whatever it is, if they don't have enough parking for their people, they will play you every single time with the city. Okay.
And are they playing them because they're using someone else's place to park?
Well, he didn't give us all that information. He said that they had an issue with the parking. And because they had an issue with the parking, they called the police department and the fire department to find a violation at that point. Because really, when you have a business license, an inspector comes in, I think once a year, to come and make sure everything is up to par. when you have a brick and mortar. That business license has to stay up. Marcel also, because he serves food and all the other things, there's a whole bunch of inspectors that's supposed to come through his business to make sure that he is, in violation of everything. If
Gotcha.
they came in and said there's a problem, and they came in the middle of something right before his big event, it is because he's pissed somebody off. And like I said, if it is a minister, because he kind of hinted that it was a minister who don't live in the community, he may not live there, but that church is there. So you either follow the rules that's always been there, run that man his money, okay, pay them tithes, okay, them community tithes, or you out. That's what it sounded like to me. Okay, let's see. Someone said he had that big homecoming event. They were parking lot at Black. It was a 2-day event over there on IG and Facebook. So okay, and they claimed, like, they made it seem like he had bought all this food and liquor and stuff, and he couldn't pull it off. I also remember it being in the winter time for some reason. I feel like it was cold. So I don't believe it was a homecoming event. I think they changed up the dialogue around it, but made it seem like there was some big event happening. He just got it shut the hell down. If I'm not mistaken, if y'all remember it differently, let me know. Diana is 100% on point. Clearly the Scots have an issue with some of the leaders in Huntsville. That's the only way that happens. Okay. So yeah, thank you for teaching us a little bit of business. Everybody keep asking for it. You got it. You got it. You need to follow some of
I'm
the
done with you.
rules, okay? It was funny when I was listening to it, because my ears was like, bing, 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 bing. Boo. That is funny. You're getting hustled. Yeah, the parking lot doesn't have a lot of people in it. I mean, it doesn't have a lot of parking spaces. It feels like there's only like maybe 4 or 6 spaces. So they do require, and when they had that homecoming event, y'all know that they actually used the parking lot as part of the space where people are partying. So they put that, I think that green turf or whatever, they put up the tents and all that stuff. So their parking lot actually becomes a part of the space of the party
Got
space.
it.
And they need people to park on the street and things like that. So there you go. I don't know what's across the street because I've never been. I didn't use my what do you call it? The Google Zoom, the Google Earth to check anybody's business space out, but I've seen pictures online, so I don't know what's across the street. But according to him, he has ruffled the feathers of the community leaders, and because of that, they tried to snatch his license and they shut him down. Now, what he had to do, I don't know if it was just pay a fee or what, but he had to go down there and do some stuff. Okay.
Shut him down twice, he said.
Oh, they shut him down twice. Okay.
That's
Well,
what he said. Yeah.
There you have it. The church has been there longer than, I guess, his business. And when you know people in the right places, they know how to make your life a living hell. And so from what it sounds like, that he has a problem down there. Because remember when he was saying the millimeters or whatever had closed down his, what was it? Some sort of gambling event. He don't know. Could have been the leader. It could have been the leadership in the community at this point. He's giving us some tea because his business is being rammed, railroaded. Okay. So just an FYI.
Wow.
Just an FYI. Some people are saying it's
good insight. I didn't
across the street. Okay. Well, there you have it. I don't know what else to say other than at the end of the day, me and Luther are feeling the same right now.
Oh, Luther.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes me and Luther trying to figure out what are you talking about, the community leaders. Can you imagine somebody came into Black and said, listen, dude, this shit, you're going to have to clean it up. And Marcel told him, nah, I'm not doing nothing. And they said, okay, see you. See you next week.
Wow.
Okay. So what's the next scene that I said we were talking about?
Let's go to Martell and Destiny. This one is Destiny is meeting with Martell at his house. And this is the setup where Martell tells Destiny that he is showing properties to Sonny and Moses. And he reveals some things that that Moses said during their conversation.
All
So
right.
this scene I thought was hilarious, actually. I'm sorry. I really thought it was funny. I
Wow.
think the best part for me was when Destiny said, "Why are they moving to the oasis of Alabama?"
Okay.
Out of all the places that they could move, why are you moving to the oasis of Alabama? And she basically said in the scene that she picks men that are out of town for a reason, so she doesn't have to do that walk of shame if they break up. So she doesn't want to have to see you at the grocery store. You know that scene in Friday, why every time I'm in the kitchen, you in the kitchen. That's the feeling that I got from her. That was the energy she was given.
Okay. All right. Now let me tell you what I saw.
Okay.
So I do. This scene did make me think about a whole bunch of shit. Okay. Just an FYI. I did a video the other day where I talked about Moses naming his business Justice Law Logistics. Okay. And a lot of people were like, he named the business before the baby. He named the business after the baby. He actually said that his business has been in existence for 2 years
Ooh,
and that the baby we now know is 4 years old.
4.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start there. Let's start there because I'm gonna give y'all some other stuff too. Again, this is my opinion. My opinion. The baby's 4 years old. The business is 2 years old. Allegedly. That's what he says in the scene. He said 2 years ago. Now let's start with Destiny arriving at Martell's house. Martell shows up at the door with his robe on, partly open, taco meat showing. If he had taco
Uh,
meat, it'd be
I was
showing.
hoping we could skip that part, but go for it.
Mm-mm. And part of me was like, well, did you not know she was coming? Can you put on a damn shirt? You got
He
the
knew
color there. Why you always got to show up stank when Destiny show up?
that. Why you always got to show up stank? Just stop there. Don't even add the rest.
I don't like it. Now I know Martell gets a kick out of
Just that.
he gets a kick out of creating that rumor that him and Destiny were an item or had something going on. And true or false, I know that Destiny's ex had maintained a friendship even after some of those rumors came out, to the point of where he went to Martell's wine event and some other things. So I'm giving the benefit of the doubt there, but I don't like that he keeps playing with Destiny if that's not true. I don't like that he thinks that's a funny joke because it's not. But let me say this. Um, Even if law is actually a variation of LeBeric's name, it is still not right for that man to say in the scene that he named his business Justice Law. Justice Law for fucking what is really the question. And then make the comment, my potential children. So I'm going to stay out of
Mhm.
the comment section for a second and just give you guys what I saw, because there's a lot of provocation here. There's some provocateurs. At first I thought it
Mhm.
was funny, but I think it's also Moses. But let me get to it. Shows up at the door. Martell has his shirt open, wants everybody to see his chest. Destiny act like it's no big deal. They hug, they go in, and he starts making coffee. And she says, I need a glass of wine. So Martell's drinking coffee. She's drinking wine. What time of morning is it? Is what I want to know. That's the first thing. Then he says, well, let me talk to you about your ex, because I met up with him and his new wife, and I'm going to sell him a house, right? And she had made this comment, money over loyalty, which
Mhm.
I
Money
got
over friends. Yep.
a little confused about. Money over friends. Okay.
Mhm.
Which I was like, there's a lot of pushing buttons here when both of y'all are guilty of the same. Because Destiny was having this conversation with Martell about why is her ex out here messing with side chicks and all this other shit. And I'm like, but you're talking to the side chick ringmaster. Like, he's the leader of the side chicks. So unless he can actually give some advice on what that insight is, because he was acting like, yeah, right, like he was clueless. Sir, you're the side chick, you know what the mindset of a side chick is. So it sounds like you would talk from there. You didn't. And I thought that was a little lousy. by the end of it, she's calling him out, saying, Martell, didn't you do some of the same shit that Moses did? Like, you would know better. Okay. So that was the number 2 problem. Now let's get to the number 3. Number 3, Martell tells a story about his meeting with Sonny and Moses. And he starts it with, it's apparent that man loved you or loves you because he was willing to name his son, your children after his business, your child after his business, and your potential child. To which Destiny frowns up and says, he told you that? And she says, yeah. And she said, in front of her? And he says, yeah. She goes, that's weird to me. Why would he do that? Like, why would he do that? Got it. Then you said Destiny, them, and then we get into the scene. Now, I told y'all before that I thought that the scene was weird. I thought it was weird because when Moses says the name, he burst into laughter. Then, like immediately after laughing, Sonny cleans it up and goes, well, hold on. He was going to name it after their potential children. This is someone who came out very recently and said that that Destiny had 3 DNA tests taken on her one child. Now, I don't know how true that is. That, again, I'm pulling stuff that I saw on the internet, but 3 DNS taken on her one child, 3 DNA tests. And she said, or alleged, or very strongly implied that it had something to do with Moses, right? Correct? Am I
correct?
talking?
Yes.
Okay.
Nope, I had myself on mute. Go ahead.
Okay, so she very strongly implied it. Now, here's where I get a little confused when I hear these stories, because it is nasty work, DNA. You want to know why it's nasty work to have 3 DNA tests? Because she was married at the time. That's the first one. Number 2, she came on TV and said to a worldwide audience that her then husband asked for a DNA test right after that child was born. So if he asked for a DNA test, they're only testing one time with the father at the hospital. You can't have other men test unless there is a court order to have them tested. So how did that happen? Somebody lying. Because if you took the one test and the test proved that that man was the father, where's the other 2 tests coming from? She's a married woman. She wasn't applying for welfare and child support. What the hell is going on? We know that the child belongs to him. He looks exactly like him, like his daddy. And by daddy, I mean LB. And let's just continue this conversation. Now I lost my train of thought. He tried to take custody of the child more than once when everything went down, because she had this baby during COVID when you weren't even allowed in the hospital unless you had a reason to be there. So there weren't 2 men just standing on the outside saying, I'm next. I got someplace to be at 12. How long is it going to take? Something's wrong with this story. So let's start there.
Okay, so go back for a second. When you talk about the 3 tests, are you saying that the father would have gotten the first test, and then are you saying that test didn't come back right, or what are you saying for the other 2 tests?
No, I'm saying that the rumor that was pushed very recently by Sonny is that there was 3 DNA tests taken.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And so when that happened, a lot of people are like, oh my God, Destiny, you hoe, blah, 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 blah. And I ain't saying, listen, call it what you want. But 3 DNA tests is not going to be taken on one child that has a mother and a father that are married in the hospital. When that man asked for that DNA test to be taken and it said, you're the father, there are no 2 other tests unless there was something inconclusive and it's still with that father. You would have to have a court order to take any other test with any other man.
Okay.
It doesn't happen. And that would have taken some time to do because the courts were closed. You couldn't even get into the hospital. You needed a reason to come into a hospital during COVID. So there's a lot of stuff that's not playing out right. And that's why I said there's a lot of provocative conversations that are happening. And not just provocative, there's provocateurs in this situation. So having these conversations right now, the way they are, is making me question some things that doesn't have to be. Okay. The rumor may be false. Okay. I'm going to just say it anyway, because that was the rumor that was rolling up in my comment section the other day. Okay. Now, well, Destiny didn't say that her baby had 3 DNA tests. She said the baby daddy asked for a DNA test right after the baby was born. She said that on the reunion stage. That's number one. Number two, I had asked you guys when the rumors started coming out, like, I know the real reason. And basically it was being implied that that Moses could have had something to do with Destiny's marriage breaking up, right? Y'all remember all of that stuff came out, and a lot of people who are fans of the show have been saying things like that. Destiny messed up her marriage because of Moses. Whatever the maybe the DNA test was happened around Moses, and that could all be true. That could all be true. Don't know. All of that could be true, though. What is more apparent than that, okay, is that if it is true that some of those things happened around questioning Destiny being out there, and that Moses was probably the person, him naming his business Justice Law, which again this is a part of the episode, is absolute nasty work, period. I said that in my review. That's what I meant. You could have kept that to your damn self, but they already started the conversation. I just heard justice. Are you serious?
Did he really step down?
Justice. I didn't hear Justice Law. I'm reading something in the comments, but I'm gonna keep my review going. I just heard justice. So he introduced Justice Law, and he was wearing that T-shirt that said Justice Law.
Not only did he introduce it, he laughed when he said it.
He laughed when he said it. I don't think that Moses could have a DNA test with a married woman and her husband unless he went to court. That is not something that you can just ask for and it happens. That means that anybody with a child, some random person, can come up and say, I believe I'm the parent, and get a DNA test. That's not allowed ever in any situation, ever. So I think that's why I was saying maybe we can walk that one back. Then the other thing, so on top of the provocative situation of marrying someone who has a little bit of a reputation out there. Someone said that they blame Destiny for allowing Moses to use the child's business name. Now let's talk about Sonny. Let's talk about Sonny going to LeBaric's business. With everything y'all know now, that LeBaric may not have thought that his child was actually his child. Imagine not being able to sleep at night, wringing your hands, not knowing what the hell is going on when that baby is born, having to take that test. You're not even really happy the way you would like to be happy, right? Is that accurate?
Correct. Hang on.
Okay, let me put this up. Okay, you're not even as happy as you would like to be. Now imagine the man that you had the most issue with, which whether LeBaric has stepped to him or talked to him or anything, he had an issue with that man. Now he's married to Sonny. And Sonny walks into your place of business to order food. And your only knowledge of this person, according to Destiny, this Sonny went to LeBaric's spot and ordered food. How is Sonny? How is Sonny just walking into that place and ordering food? Wouldn't you think that man was going to put a little Suge Avery P in the barbecue sauce?
I would. That's some dirty work. Yeah, that's some real dirty work right there. Okay. I would think that she was going to put Suge Avery P in it.
I said the same thing. So I'm like, Sonny is a provocateur, and that may be good for reality TV. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling you now, she is pushing some buttons with some of the stories that is coming out here.
Some major buttons.
Pay attention. She's pushing buttons and she's letting the shit fall where it falls. And whether you like it or not, it could be, you can consider it good TV or not. But if this man was as stressed out and pissed off as he was about that child possibly not being his, showing up and asking for chicken and some green beans may not be the right thing to do.
Right, exactly.
It is a absolute diss to LB, and it is a diss to Moses.
It's a diss to Moses. That was my thing. If I'm Moses, I would be like, what the hell are you doing? I don't want you going over there talking to that man. That's disgusting.
Especially since they haven't necessarily, they haven't squashed any beef. That beef is just as present today as it was when it happened a couple of years ago. So it almost feels like buttons are being pushed and people are being provocative toward not just Destiny, but also to LB. That was the point I was making. LB, who should be like an innocent victim, is also having buttons pushed at this point.
Exactly.
That's what I was saying. That's the point I was making. Okay. Because child, what? Thank you so much. I appreciate you for becoming a member of my Supreme team. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We'll be having a meeting tomorrow, a meetup tomorrow. Okay. But yeah, just so y'all know, I just wanted to point out that there was a lot of provocative things happening in that damn scene that just, it looked cute, but it wasn't cute. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate you for coming over and becoming a member. Okay. And becoming a subscriber of the channel. Okay, let's get to the next part, which is all Trish and
Ken, right? Okay. So it starts off with Courtney and Stormy is telling Courtney about her run-in with Martell. And she basically said, Martell has proven Trish to be a big fat Faison liar. That's what I heard. Am I right? So they move on.
One second. Let me just say this to Simply Beautiful. Simply Beautiful, you are right. She said that he bragged about it. I'm not sure if it was a brag or if it was more just to with their head. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, by the way, this person came in. But I want to say that when you have someone do something like that, it actually is a little bit of a shock to the system. Like, why would this person come here? And the reaction may not always be what you think in the beginning, but when people have time to think about shit, it can turn into something else. We know how that works. You shouldn't play when it comes to people's children is really what the point I was making. Because it feels like you weren't taking that man's grief at the time, the thing that he was going through. He was under a lot of stress. You weren't taking that seriously. Okay.
Right.
So that's why I brought it up. So when someone is provocative like that, and they're just like, well, let me go in and make something pop. You're going to make something pop. It may not be what you want to pop, but you're going to make something pop. Okay.
Something's popping. All right. That's exactly it.
You being a member for 16 months, the show is getting more and more ridiculous. Well, you know what? I mean, we know the show for what it is. It happens on a lot of different stuff, but at 8 seasons now, we know how the show operates. But sometimes when you're trying to get a storyline together, child, you'll do some things, and that's what it looks like. So anyway, we're back to Ken and Trish. I saw Clicky said that Trish is a big fat
Faison liar, 100%. So we get down.
I got Tammy playing now.
We get down to now Destiny, Trish, and Stormy at the gym, where basically Trish tells them about finalizing everything with the ex. They're moving forward with the divorce so that she can move on with Ken. And Stormy comes in and drops the 1A. She said, listen, I know what you said to everybody, but what I was told was that you guys have a closer relationship than you let on. And Trish continues to lie.
She didn't just continue to lie. She didn't just continue to lie. Trish has a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde personality. and I ain't even making that shit up. If we go back to when she first came on screen, Trish, when she first came on screen, was such a what am I watching kind of person that I used to put up that little sound effect where I was like, we don't even care. I don't even know what the fuck is going on. Like, I can't even listen to
Right.
you. I don't know what you're talking about. But she went from this really demure, I don't really have a whole lot going on in my life. I'm just trying to figure out if I'm getting a divorce or not. My ex-husband brought me all of these problems. She was telling us about all the death that happened in her family. We had no idea. The shit that just went down in last night episode, it literally made all the other scenes Trish said a lie. Starting with the when she was sitting at Stormy's house, okay?
Right.
Sitting at Stormy's house when Martell shows up, and she gets offended that Martell didn't recognize her. And after Martell walks out of the door, okay, because Martell was like almost kind of panicking, like, oh yeah,
Do we know each other? I don't know.
I'm
Who are you?
Martell. Yeah,
Right.
like I'm gonna give you a bone, bitch. I'm Martell. All you had to do was say hi, Martell. You didn't have to let any of us know. No, you gotta sit there and get upset about it. And then when he leaves, okay, then Stormy asks you 100 times, 100 different ways. Well, why he say that though? Why he mad though? Well, why he do that though? Well, why though? I kept saying, well, what the hell is this scene about? Why are you making this girl say this 100 times?
Right. Why do you keep asking?
That was a
hilarious.
horrible scene.
It wasn't.
Okay.
No.
You go through all of that. Then we get to the scene at the gym with Martell and Trish. Martell the whole time is wringing his head, leaning back and forth, giggling, holding on to stuff. I was like, what? Why is he acting so damn strange?
Because they were comfortable with each other. But go ahead.
She's on the other side, like, what? Well, what Chris say? Well, I don't understand. None of this jogs your memory that you went to that man's house? Never?
Exactly.
Then you have a scene at Nell Fletcher's birthday party where a conversation that the audience didn't get to see is had with Melody. And Melody allegedly drills you. This is actually happens before the gym scene. You said that Melody drilled you about being divorced or whatever. I don't even know because she didn't even finish the rest of it. But a whole bunch of people are like, well, what the hell is that about? Listen, if you was in my house, I don't care. If you were in my house with my ex, I don't care how many years ago, I need to know what type of person you are. So I'm going to ask you some damn questions because that will allow me to know whether or not I'm a fool with you moving forward. So if she got drilled, period. But that didn't jog your fucking memory, Trish, because that's 3 scenes already that hasn't jogged your memory.
3 scenes that hasn't jogged your memory, but why not just fess up to it now? Like, why continue to lie to Stormy and to Destiny? And Destiny was given all the smoke with the, are you sure you're not a sneaky link? Are you sure you didn't do this? Yeah.
The 4th scene is
Did
actually,
I cut you off?
yeah, they had 3 scenes. This is the 4th scene when she meets with Destiny and Stormy.
Right.
Her 4th scene where she's still lying.
Still lying.
Okay, girl, why you lying? Okay, still lying, people. I don't know if Mel drilled her or not. They didn't show the scene. I didn't even see enough of the scene to know that Mel even talked to her. But I will say, if she did drill her, she was supposed to. Okay,
Absolutely.
she was supposed to, because you can't show up in my friendship group and not expect me to ask you questions.
Right.
Whether Mel
Don't
is
be hanging out in my circle.
Exactly.
Agreed.
You ain't gonna come to my group without me saying, hey, ho, where do I know you from? Okay. You might look like somebody I saw on my Ring camera. I'm going to ask questions.
Exactly.
I need to know why you are so sneaky. Okay.
Exactly.
So everybody's asking, you don't give the answer to. And then you say that you know Chris Fletcher. You and Chris Fletcher are related. Not to mention the fact that you said initially you knew Martell through his brother Montez, that y'all used to date. And you used to be at the house a few times. That would have been years ago, because Montez ain't been home in the real streets for a minute. He was in jail. And then when he came out in the real streets, he went back to jail. So she lying.
Oh, right.
Let's keep that in mind. Make sure y'all take that quiz because I told you the other day that when Ken gives this face, it's because he doesn't know who he's looking at. Who are you?
That's the best face.
He doesn't know what he's looking at. Who are you? You have a completely different impression. This girl carried a lie that started in episode 1 all the way till now. Not just on the show, but in interviews. And she never even had to admit it. When Martell extended his hand, that was the best thing that could have happened to her. Period. I don't know you. He's here. I don't. Let's not pretend like we know each other. That was smart. I don't want to cause any problems for you. I don't know. Period. But that didn't happen. And then when you went home to tell your man that you were upset that Martell ignored you or didn't know you.
Tell my whole story. So his son, he said something later. He said something later. Oh no. Tell ain't tell my whole story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Neither's Trish. Trish didn't tell the whole story.
Trish ain't telling the whole story either. I completely agree. Neither
Trish
one of them are telling the whole story.
But Martell is single. Okay? Martell is single at this point. She's the one in the relationship. So if Martell ain't telling the whole story, who gives a shit? You have to tell the whole story though. Okay?
Right.
Never.
Ken doesn't need Martell to tell the whole story.
In the face.
Exactly.
And she looked Destiny and Stormy in the face. Okay? Thank you, Miss Cookie. I appreciate it. Never looked at him. Never looked at that man when she was talking to him.
Exactly. Eyes were closed the whole time, like she was on a roller coaster, child.
I was like, girl, what are you doing? And then even then, it pissed him off so much in the scene, child. He actually says, and I quote, "Don't come to me talking about you went over his house to train him. Bullshit. Because I know what that means when a woman comes to me to train her. It starts off in the gym, then I'm training her in the bed."
Right. Yeah, he said you can drop that little naive act because I'm not buying it.
I clutch my own pearls. What are you saying? Trish, what are you doing? He doesn't even believe you, child. It's horrible. It was horrible. Then she continued and he tried to grab her knee like, girl, just tell the story because you playing in my face. And then you put me in these streets and you're making other people play in my face.
Yeah, make it like a straight jackass. Unbelievable.
I was like, he's begging you to come clean. He's begging you to say that you smelled it, put it in your mouth, something. Like, tell him.
Yeah. You might as well just come clean. He actually even says, I don't even care what y'all did before me. Before me. But let me know what you did. I don't want to walk in rooms where people are snickering and I'm trying to defend you saying one thing and they know something else.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's messed up.
She lied. She lied. It was bad. Okay. And at the end of the day, I was sitting there watching thinking, it does not matter at this point. You put him on TV. You put him on TV to have this ridiculous lie be exposed from the second it started. And the worst part about the lie is that you were different people at different times every time you told the story. So you don't even look like yourself anymore. What we thought about you ain't even real. Ain't even real. Okay? That's how hot of a mess it was.
Exactly.
Period. Okay? It just felt just like it was just bad. It was bad. And then in confessional, she literally is dressed like I don't know, Queen Elizabeth or something. She got her face all done. She looks beautiful. But she
Mhm.
never, she looked at that camera the whole time when she says, I created this mess. I lied. And if I would have just told the truth from the gate,
Mhm.
none of this would have happened. And Ken bends down and looks at her and taps her on the knee and said, and nodded his head. But the truth of the matter is also, child, not only
Mhm.
create this whole lie and mess things up for everybody, mess things up for yourself mostly. Allegedly, it happened before you even met Ken. So why not just tell the truth from the gate? Why
Yeah.
not just tell it from the
Yeah.
start? Unless there's something
Right.
going
There's
on,
something more to this. Yeah.
which just
There's
leaves the
something more to
story
this.
open. Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. Let's see, Diana, you said the exact words in another one of your videos. Martell is playing in Ken's face. Martell can play in Ken's face. I
Mhm.
told y'all then, when Martell stood up over Ken and said, well, what did she tell you? Why am I here? Is
Right.
basically what he's asking.
Exactly.
Why the hell am I here? What did she tell you? And now that I know she didn't tell you shit, I know she didn't left the door open for her to come back up to my crib again. Okay?
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
I'm gonna leave it out one more time.
Exactly.
Okay?
Exactly.
Everybody did the right thing except for her. Martell gave her an out. Everybody gave her an out. When Stormy was drilling her, well, what you do? And the only person in this, listen, Courtney was priceless
Oh.
when he talks to Stormy at the beginning, and Stormy said,
Yeah.
did she tell y'all? Did Ken say anything about her going to his house? And he went, no, he didn't tell me nothing. That ain't
Mhm.
none of my business. Okay. I'm done. I don't even want to talk about
Yep.
this.
He's like, I'm done. I'm walking away. Yeah. This is
Yes,
something I don't want to be a part of.
something I don't want to be a part of. Destiny in the scene at the gym, when
Mhm.
Destiny was smiling and looking over at Stormy like, this bitch has no idea she's on TV. She's about to get cooked.
Right.
She's about to get cooked. And we're trying to help you get there. To the point of where this girl who's so shy, so I don't do this, says at the end of the scene, if I did sleep with Martell, we adults, that's our business. Why would you put that out there? Destiny said, but you didn't though. So you might want to
Right.
clean that up.
Exactly.
Whew. Trish,
She had her chance and she
okay.
blew it, Joe.
I don't know what to say other than this girl messed up and I can't. I can't.
Mhm.
Right
I
now,
can't.
right now, Trisha's storyline, Trish and Ken, how this plays out moving forward is going to be the story, because they had the biggest lie.
They have a huge lie.
They have the biggest lie on the show. They have the biggest lie on the show.
And Ken knows she's lying. He asked her 3 times at the end.
He
You ain't
knows
got to ask me but once.
he asked that lady in this season. He says he has a whole dinner scene with her on her birthday. Was it her birthday? It was her birthday, right? I want
Mhm.
to marry you. How can we
Yeah.
move this
Yep.
along? How can we move this divorce along? You can't really walk into this situation of marriage because you thought she was one way and have this big question mark looming over you.
Exactly. Exactly.
Child, what's up, Kevin? You can't have that. You can't have that. I'm sorry.
Hey, Kevin.
We can see if he does it. It'll make him like one of the biggest simps on reality TV.
Yeah.
I mean, this man, you know, loves her kids, has bought things for him, taken them out of the country. He goes to work off road for months or weeks at a time, doing whatever he's doing. It was a mess. It was a mess.
Uh-huh.
So let's see. So I'm assuming that this gets brought up on to Mel at the girls' trip, and that the truth comes out. We about to see.
Oh.
We about to see, because Mel
Mhm.
is going to invite everybody. It sounds like it's her trip, so she's inviting people. She looks like she's inviting Sunny.
Mhm.
She
Or
has a
she's leaving the door open for her, right.
your mic messed up. Did you say she was leaving the door open for her to come?
Right. Yep.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead. I'm gonna mute because something's going on with my mic here.
Okay. So she leaves this door open for Sunny. Yeah, right. So we can assume that maybe she invites Trish as well, but it's gonna have to get discussed. You can't go walking into people's house and then come into that group and not have it discussed. Period. Period. Okay. Um, yeah, listen, she said, Neva said, Mel did say he had several women. I don't for a second think that Mel doesn't know who Martell is and what he's done with his appendage over the years. I just think that unlike Ken, who's had people play in his face for a minute, most people who's had her play in his face for a minute, most people, when you see somebody and you know they might have been sneaky, even back in the day before you got a divorce, you're going to ask the question.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I would. Huntsville is a small town. Let's start there. Huntsville's a small town.
Clearly.
So things kind of get back to you one way or the other. Usually in small towns, even though, it may be getting a little, building itself up a little bit. But at the end of the day, small towns mean that people sleep, especially with that one guy that everybody think is cute, unless you move the hell up out of there and you don't fall prey to the small town BS. That happens too.
Right.
And then most importantly, another point I wanted to make, because a lot of people, I said that Trish sent Ken on a mission to attack Martell at the end of the day. Have this conversation with Martell, right? I know that Trish met her boyfriend or whatever, her husband in high school. What young girls learn very early, hopefully, an uncle or your mama or an auntie, a grandmother, a granddaddy will tell you pretty early if you start using your feminine wilds the wrong way to get people attacked and they ass whooped.
Right.
Don't do that.
That was my point too. Exactly. You're basically putting him in a position where he now has to fight this dude.
Yes.
And there's no match there. You know what I mean? Ken would knock him completely over. It's just ridiculous.
Thank you. More importantly than just playing in his face, you sent him on a mission to, if I have to put my fucking hands on you, I will. Right. And you didn't have to. You didn't have to. And that's something you learn as a very young girl. You figure out, you know what, I'm testing the water, and somebody is going to tell you that's grown, hey girl, slow your ass down. Okay. Right. Even to even to boys. I've heard this conversation had in my family with everybody. Okay. It happened to me. It happened to my sister. It happened to everybody. Slow your ass down. Don't do something that's going to get that child put in jail or do something stupid. But you learn that when you're young. She's doing something as a grown ass woman that she shouldn't have done. That's the other thing that I have with her. That's the other problem. Okay. Let's see. But that's it. That's literally the review, y'all. I just wanted to tell y'all what I saw. Like I said, it's from my perspective, my opinion, but she's done a couple of things that doesn't make her that little naive girl that she presented herself as. Okay. It's just a little deeper. It's just a little deeper than that. That's it. That's it. What else y'all got to say? You want to add to anything, Miss Cloner?
Nope, I think you pretty much covered it.
Okay. All right, y'all. I'm waiting to see if y'all have any more comments. I thought it was, listen, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give it a 7, just because it was a shock for me to see that go down the way it did. I did not expect it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to give it an 8. I'm going to actually go higher than you this time because I was laughing the whole time.
Yeah. It was funny. It was embarrassing as hell, but it was funny.
It was embarrassing I was embarrassed for her, but you know what? We saw it coming. It was a train wreck she couldn't avoid.
Correct. All right, y'all. We love you. We appreciate everybody who came to hang out with us today to do this review. I'm assuming we'll do the next one. They'll get number 13 up and we'll get to see Melody get everybody invited to the party. But outside of that, y'all, it was a decent episode. Okay. So please and thank you. Make sure everyone hit that like button for me on your way.
Do you have the results of the, I
forgot to get the results. Oh, sorry about that. Yep. You're right. Thank you, clone. Let me get the results. Okay. So if you guys voted in the poll, it says 396 of you voted. I said, how bad was it that Tish didn't tell Ken that she spent time, in quotes, with Martell 4 years ago? By the way, it's also a question mark because her daughter is older than 4 years old. And she said it was a little bit before or after. So her daughter's older than 4 years old. Okay.
Right.
7% of you said not bad at all. It happened before they met. 28% of you said hard side eye, but they'll recover. And then 65% of you said it was disrespectful and he should run for the hills. Okay. So thank y'all for voting in the poll right there. Y'all can go back and check it out. But thank y'all for voting in the poll. And yeah, now we're done. Okay. So y'all make sure y'all follow me on all my platforms at DYANAROZAY. And I will check you all on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.